In this video, we're going to look at some patient and front desk FAQs. So the agenda is to review some important patient and scheduling frequently asked questions. Items we're going to cover: how to merge patients, how to inactivate or reactivate patients, delete appointments, that's void appointments, add a custom appointment status to use as cancelled option, and for the interface customers, some important things you need to know regarding the patient sync, update, or merge. So let's begin the training. So first item I'm going to demonstrate to you is how you can merge patients. So if you've got duplicate patient records and you want to merge patients, this is how you can do that. So navigate to the patient screen or patient menu and bring up the patient search. Once you bring up the search, I'm going to show you first the duplicate patient record. So I'm going to type a patient last name, and I'll also type the first name here, so it brings up those two patients. So I've got this two patient records, this is a duplicate record. So to merge patients, to the right hand side, you see there's these two arrow options. This is for patient merge. You click on this option, it brings up a window for the patient merge. The left hand side is the primary patient, the patient that you want to select and keep it or remain, which would remain active after the merge. The right hand side is the secondary patient, whose information is going to merge into the primary patient record. So let's select our primary patient. So my primary patient here is record number 5271. So I'm going to type that patient's last name. It brings up on the list. I select 5271 as my primary patient. So you can see that patient's info here. Next, I'm going to select the secondary patient. And I'll type this last name and then pick the secondary patient, which is the record number 4000. So that once that is selected, you can see that patient's information as well show up on this section. So once you have the primary and secondary patient selected, hit the merge button. And that'll merge the record, which is the secondary patient's info, will merge the primary. So let's do the merge. I'll hit merge. And you'll get a confirmation message. Hit yes to that, and that merge is complete. So now if I try to search this patient again, you can see there's only one record of this patient. The secondary patient, which is MR number 4000, has been merged into the primary patient record, which is MR number 5271. So the MR number 4000, after the merge is complete, that patient will be inactivated in the system. So this is how you can merge. Go to the two arrows on the right hand side. You click and open up the merge screen. Select the primary patient, secondary patient, hit merge, and the patient records are merged. Next, we're going to look at how you can inactivate a patient, and then if you want to reactivate that patient back, how you would do that. So to inactivate a patient, first search the patient. Once this patient comes up, click on the patient to open that patient. Once you have the patient open, on the top right hand side, you see there's a checkbox, active. Just uncheck this box to inactivate the patient. So I'll uncheck it and we'll hit save at the bottom to have that updated. Now the patient is inactive. Patient record number 5271 has been inactivated. Now if I try to search for this patient, either using the name or the record number, you can see that it does not bring up that patient. So if you want to reactivate this patient, maybe let's say I should not have inactivated this patient, so I want to reactivate this. I'm going to click on more filters here. There's a checkbox, include inactive. I check the box, brings up the inactive patient. I click on the patient. And once the patient info is opened, I can go back to this active checkbox, check the box, and save it. And there, the patient is reactivated. So I'll go back to this patient search. And now, even if I don't use this checkbox, you can see that that patient will show up on the patient search. So the inactive patients will also not show up when you search on any of the other billing screens, like the edit charges screen or any other screens when you try to search for this patient. They will also not show up if it is an inactive patient. Only once you reactivate the patient would they show up on the search. Next, we're going to go into the appointment scheduler screen. I'm going to look at a couple of appointment scheduler as frequently asked questions. Firstly, I'm going to just add an appointment here, and because I don't have any appointments in my list, I'm just going to add an appointment. Okay, so the appointment is added. Once the appointment gets added, you can see that you can click on this appointment space to bring up all the appointment shortcuts. So if you want to edit the appointment, you can click on the edit option. So the first item I'm going to show you is how you can void off the appointment. The appointment void off means it is similar to like deleting the appointment. So to void an appointment, you can click on the edit, open that appointment, and you can see there is a schedule status void. This status is not generally a default status. It's not something that you would see when you have the account or the database newly made up for you. This is a status that has to be manually added to your list. So once you select the status and save it, you can see that the appointment is deleted or void. When you use a void, it's voided. It's hidden from the appointment screen. Now, to add the status, you would do it just as you add any other scheduled statuses. Just go click on this legend, click on settings, and you can add the new status and just type the word void and click on the word pick and just pick a status or color for that status. It doesn't matter which color you pick. You can pick any color because once you use the status void on an appointment, that status will no longer be shown on the scheduler. So once you select pick and hit save, it's going to be added. I've already got the void status added here. But if it's not on your list, you want to add the status for deletion, just add the status from the screen. Now the other item that I'm going to show you is how you can add a cancel status, or how you could use a status which you could use instead of the system-defined canceled option. You can create a status of your own named cancel so that it can be used instead of the regular canceled option. Now, generally, when you use the canceled option, the appointment will be removed. So I'm going to just add one more appointment here. Just add for the same patient. I'll save this appointment, so the appointment is saved. Now when you edit this appointment to cancel, you can hit the cancel or use the delete on the shortcut bar to cancel the appointment. The appointment gets removed from the list. Now if you want to use a status, but for cancellation, but don't want it to be removed, you can just create a custom status just as we create the void or any other statuses. You can just create a status and name it like cancel. I already have a status added here named cancel. You can create the status with this. You can create a custom status with cancel. Make sure when you're adding the new status, don't type in the word canceled or canceled, either one, because those are two statuses that are system defined. So if you use them, then that status will also behave like the regular or the default canceled option. So that's why I would just put the name cancel, and now this status can be used for cancellation or instead of the regular cancellation. So I will start this appointment. And we can change the status here as cancel. Hit save. And the appointment changes to cancel status. So just a note that this will not, there are some appointment reports in the system which show the canceled appointments. So this will not show up in the canceled appointments list, but because this is a custom status that has been added, but when you run reports, you would be able to see that this shows up in the cancel, which is your own cancel status. So you can kind of reconcile or identify canceled appointments using just the cancel status, which is the word cancel that was added for the cancellation status. So that was all about some of the frequently asked questions on the patient and scheduler. On our next video, we're going to look at some of the frequently asked questions on the patient for the interface customers.